Blow it. Is it Jack? You want to wait on, I mean, you spray something. Kincaid, 275. My son's over at UX. He could not get the key down there and get his it's always for school. She'll take it home there and come.
Roll call.
Lawrence.
Here.
Passo.
Here.
Dees.
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of minutes for April's meeting.
Motion.
Passo.
Yes.
Dees.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Okay, our special guest is not here, Tyler. We're gonna start the old meeting. I'm gonna appoint a new trustee, and I'll need him to come up here as soon as we get him appointed. You'll be Louis Picardo. I just need a motion.
I make a motion.
Second. Passo.
Yes.
Lawrence.
Yes.
Nelson.
Abstain.
Dees.
Yes.
You're on, come on up there. You gotta read this. Read that. You gotta say it loud.
I, Louis Picardo, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and I faithfully discharge the duties of office of trustee according to the best of my ability.
Hey, you need to get signed there.
That's a lot shorter than military.
Yeah. Okay. We have a new trustee. Hey, Louis, want to take a seat over here, buddy? Okay, and this next thing is for you to come up here and get him in there. You got his.
I, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of President according to the best of my ability.
Need you to sign this down here. Yeah, just give it to her. Good luck. Yeah, good luck.
Good job, Bobby.
Yep.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah. You got it.
And the rest is swearing in the rest of the trustees. What you want? You want them all?
They can both come up at the same time.
Christie. Dale. Is that both games? Good you. Find out.
Just have to do it to me.
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of trustee according to my best ability.
Courthouse calls me too, when I get ready for it. As long as they're rolling okay, they got a hole, put a relative over, oil it all down. Shit's great. So, selling them now. We've been using them for some of the days. We've been using them for fixing carry files too.
You never showed up, did we? Just had to transfer. We'll still do
We
that.
can table it until the regular meeting in June.
We will be here next
See what it is.
month.
I'm telling you, 3 years to get that house torn down.
Need a motion to table, consent to transfer simple, right? Based the fact that he's not here for his presentation.
I make a motion, we table the consent for transfer of simple rate. Table it.
I'll second that.
Okay, has everybody got a copy of that ordinance 903?
And we got.
We got-
to keep going.
We need to vote yet.
I'm adding it in. All right, Nelson,
Yes.
Passo,
Yes.
Dees,
Yes.
Jaeger. Yes. Adamias,
Yes.
Ricardo.
Yes.
Everybody, I'll get a copy of that.
Yes.
Well, don't we still have on file the original ordinance for like weeds and everything else?
Yes.
We still
We
do
still
that?
have that on, we still have that on
And why
record.
was 903 ever put on?
I believe, if my recollection serves correctly, 903 was put on there really to be, to encourage people to take care of their yards, take care of paying their bills. However, I've done, oh, that's this one about shutting off water. All things considered, Mr. Mayor, I've been looking into this, and I think we're gonna have to redact that from the 903. But we probably should come up, and I know I've talked to you about coming up with some kind of ordinance that sets up a plan or a process by which people, if they get behind in paying the water bill, or they don't get their grass cut, or they don't get their junk picked up, or what, that there's another method or another process for them to follow rather than shutting off water. And that would probably come to some kind of, I would say, probably another ordinance that would say, you know, your steps of remediation. If you do not clean up your yard or cut your grass or pay your water bill, then, you know, you have so many days in which to do this, or to make some kind of initiative towards payment. And at that point, instead of, I think, and to me, the logical thing is instead of it coming as a contestant between the village and the person and the property holder, we need to make some kind of ordinance where it goes to collections or something after a certain amount of due process. There is some other municipalities around here that have step-by-step type of remediation rather than adding it to an ordinance of punishment. And I think that maybe that's probably what we need to do. We need to get a hold of, what was that guy's name, Frank? We need to talk to Frank about redacting some part of this ordinance because it is not, it's not kosher. And removing it from the ordinance and then setting up a different ordinance that states and follows every one of the bill collection process that we have for the village for the taxpayers to either contest, argue, grieve, whatever you want to call it, remediate if they can't pay the money right now, set up a process by which the money
And you're
can be
talking
paid.
on any ordinance violation.
Yeah, an ordinance violation, because that's what this was meant to do. It was meant to, those people who violate ordinances, it was meant to be a,
But if they're water.
It was more of a failure to pay. If they
yeah,
failed
it's
to
a failure to
pay,
pay.
then there's a period of time when they
Also,
shut
if
their
they didn't
water
cut
off.
their grass, or they
Let's take
didn't do
turns
these other
talking.
things.
Let's take turns talking.
What's that?
But it would also be if they didn't cut their grass, or they didn't haul away the cars off the
But if their water
boulevard.
bill is paid in full.
Yeah,
Even if their grass is high, why should we shut their water off?
that was the punishment part of,
I think, if I may, Sue,
Yeah.
that from what I have recalled, it's been revised several times, but the ultimate idea behind it was incentive to keep the properties, as Ms. Passo said, this is years ago, Mr. Beasy. So the idea was, ultimately, we'd shut your water off, meaning the village would shut your water off if you didn't comply with X, Y, and Z, and the list was pretty endless. It's been revised, to use Ms. Passo's word. I mean, just within the last like 5 or 6 years, probably 2 or 3
yeah,
times.
this was, November 13th of 2023.
Yeah, we changed it back then.
And like I said, I think we'd just be better off if we looked at some other municipalities equivalent to ours and see what process they do.
That's where this one came from, too.
Yeah, well-
Ms. Passo was stolen links for that. I
Yeah.
know Kip had mentioned it previously, too, and he was the impetus behind it the first time.
Yeah, it's very punitive.
It is.
It is very punitive
It
and
is.
it's very discriminatory.
Well, amongst all the things that we're talking about, like grass and junk and all that, they already have preset fines on them, don't they?
Yes, and time limits.
And why do we even have 93?
Well, this was this was regarding, people who have not paid their water bill. And, you know, if people can't pay to begin with, dumping more fines on them doesn't help. It just increases shame. So, I just think you can make something up that will.
I don't hate the idea, Sue, and I know you and I've talked about, I think I've talked about it with everybody on the board here, but if you wanted to put it in a committee like Kip was talking about and say, hey, what are the actual structures here? Obviously, the ordinance violations all have their own structure on how they work. But that would specifically, that ordinance specifically, if you wanted to modify it to say something, I like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically put in place. If someone failed to pay whatever, whether it be a fine for the tall grass or whatever, if they failed to pay over a period of time, and I don't remember exactly how long it was after that. I don't remember. It was maybe just a few weeks. So, but I don't think we've done that for, and I'm glad we're not.
And that was the thing, I don't think it was ever enforced quite.
There's a few,
And then-
we
and then
know,
it
we
did.
absolutely know some that have.
Oh, yeah.
But just the reason why I did it is we need to have it in committee, break it down. Yes, if somebody needs to, do we currently have anybody on payment arrangements?
That's.
Yeah, well, through the ordinance violation court, we do.
We
I don't
do?
know about anything else, I'll defer to Madam Clerk.
Well,
Is that
the other
working?
thing, I think we have to create some kind of ordinance that allows people due process to grieve if they have a contestant.
Sure.
And I don't think this addresses that at all.
Well, I agree with that, but I don't agree with shutting water off when somebody's got a water bill that's paid. If it's paid, all
Yeah, that-
that should.
Yeah, that's that whole point.
Yeah,
That's the whole point. We agree with you.
it's an antiquated ordinance. It just is.
Yes.
Who's been working on this, you see?
Yeah, I've been trying to look at it from
Well, I
time
tried
to
to
time.
see if you
But put it on one of the committees and
Yes.
Yeah.
we can talk about it, because we've had this discussion several times.
Yep.
All right, on the village foreman, we're not gonna hire a village foreman this time. If anything, we're gonna put another man on with a lot less pay than what we have to pay to get a foreman here. And, I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but I don't feel we need a foreman to just ride around the truck all day. If we do hire a foreman, it'll be a working foreman. He will not be sitting here in the truck. I mean, I know he's got jobs to do on the computer stuff, fine and dandy, but he's not gonna spend all day in the truck. Yard mowing and that, Mike, I talked to them about. We're gonna make a list, and even though we don't have a police officer right now, we're gonna get citations or abatement orders out to him, either get it cleaned up or we're gonna fight. And it's gonna be a slow process, don't expect miracles. That's gonna happen, Miss Tallis. When the time we left to go to Chad and come back, it's down, went downhill 100%, no doubt. Hiring a police chief and officer. Sue and I met with a couple that was the chief, and he was gonna bring another officer with him. And Beverly was here, I don't know, and we had a pretty good meeting with him, but at first we kind of thought we wanted them, but the more you crunch the numbers, we can't afford them. No way. We'd have had to rob Peter to pay Paul, and that's no way to do business. So we're still looking. I have another person that called here, and we're gonna have it posted again and get some more applications put in. Try all over again, that's all we can do. And, people that know me from Nicole, when I was on this board, I tried twice to get it where family members could work or be on the board at the same time. I haven't changed my feelings on that, and you guys talked over, but I would like to see an ordinance to where we stop the nepotism. No employees or family members to be on the board at the same time. Leave it up to you guys to do that. It never works out. It didn't work out 15 years ago or better when I was on the board. It didn't work out this time either. So you guys use your judgment. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Alaminas,
Yes.
Cardo,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Passo,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Dees.
Yes.
On it.
Get that?
Yep. We'll have it ready for the June meeting.
Okay, approval of the union contract. Everybody's had a chance to go over it. Any debates or problems with it?
You got a copy of that, you guys haven't seen
We got one the last time.
Oh, yes.
it. He hasn't.
Yes.
Bill. Mine's last time. Tell everybody, did you have a copy?
I don't think so. She can go to the next one.
Actually feels pretty good being out here. You look. Feels pretty good. We're not going in the fire.
Sure.
This is basically the changes that will be made in the initial contract. Am I right on that? These are the
Yes.
changes,
Yes.
everything else is the same.
Yeah, that's correct. Mayor, may I address the board prior to the vote?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'm John Beer, I'm the Teamsters Local 916. And just a quick aside prior to the vote this evening. If you look on your economic proposal on the first page there, during negotiations, it was discussed about the Paid Leave for All Workers Act. And it was also mentioned that you guys already have a policy within your village here. I've read that policy. My only mention and my only thought before the vote is that to ensure that we are in compliance and that our members will be in compliance with the Paid Leave Act for the state of Illinois, I am asking that for this particular article under Sick Leave U3, Article 13, that we include that our members are allowed to use those hours in 2-hour increments. Thank you.
Other changes in the wages about, the other thing is, they will be allowed $200 to purchase steel-toe boots, stuff like that. And they also, was a $500 sign-on bonus. And will be in effect till April 30th, 28.
What's that?
This contract will be in effect till, for 3 years, till 1928, or 2028. change 1 hour to 3 hours.
Is this one right? Whatever I thought. Mine had something different than we got last. Tommy was gonna be $1 more.
What do you guys have in front of you?
It's written in, it's written.
Is that just the proposal? Yeah, that's
That's just the
That's just the proposal, that's not the
Yeah,
actual.
24, 25, 26.
Right.
For now.
That's what's being voted on, yes.
And Tommy, lead worker.
It was $1 more. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Any other questions on this? Let's take a vote on it.
And if you guys have any other questions, you can address them to me as well, so I can answer your questions as well. So I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page on what's being voted on before we vote. I don't want any confusion or afterwards or after the fact, so.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
This sick leave, you're asking for 40 hours of sick leave per calendar year.
Yes.
Does that eliminate the personal days?
No, it does not. So the way that the Paid Leave Act works is that this is not in addition to any time that they already have. So the sick time that they have, they will have the additional hours to make up the 40 hours.
Because right now they get 5 personal days and 2 sick days, which
Yes.
is 40 hours.
So we can, if we would like to make an adjustment, we can make an adjustment into that in terms of, we can make it 2 sick days and 3 personal days, but at the same time, what I don't want to do is take a benefit from our members that they already have with their personal days.
Well, they already get 40 hours, it's just
Exactly.
broken up.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, and I understand that, and so essentially with the Paid Leave Act, the 40 hours is there, and they already have the 40 hours. But the proposal is that they will be able to use that time in 2-hour increments. That's how the Paid Leave Act has been written out. So it was proposed under sick time, I'm sorry, it was proposed under sick time because they only received 2 days of sick time. That's why that was proposed in that manner.
So
Is there any stipulation as far as the paid time off carried over?
No.
They're allowed to?
So, well,
They
with the
they
paid-
cannot earn more than 40.
Right. So
They-
the Paid Leave Act does not carry over.
Okay.
You gotta use
If they don't use it, they lose it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So
Okay.
no matter what, how you say it, whether it's sick or PL, they're still
Yeah,
gonna get
there's
40 hours.
still
no
the
matter
40
what.
hours, yes.
It's just if they're sick, they can take 2-hour increments.
Yes.
Thank you.
So under the act, they can just take it under 2-hour increments. So whether you want to use it as sick time or personal time, or however you want to slice it and dice it, it's still just for 40 hours and in 2-hour increments.
And
So-
see, right now, the personal time, they use it or lose it.
Okay.
Sick time, no, they can carry it over.
Okay.
Sick time.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, personal time, you're allowing 2-hour increments on that one also? Is that what you said a minute ago?
Well, so the way that we proposed it, the way I proposed it was under the sick leave because they only receive two days per year,
Okay.
right? 16 hours, and it's according to the contract. So to give them the, quote unquote, give them the 40 hours, that would be an additional 3 days to make the 40 hours for the sick time to be used in 2-hour increments.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And then are you asking for a little bit of a notice for that, or can they call that AM and say, I need
So generally what
within
would
a
happen?
24 hour?
Well, most contracts would say within reasonable notice, and you could put in there, you can say with 1 hour notice, but at the same time that their leave could not be unjustly denied. If you would like to see language on that to be added in it, I can do that as well, that's not an issue.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, is Mr. Backer not included in this?
Who is Mr. Banner?
He's not union.
I'm not.
Right, he's not a part of the union, he does not pay the union dues.
Thank you.
Yes.
So where are we at? What do we need to do? We need a motion to approve?
Yeah.
With, I think, this gentleman's
Yeah.
understanding that
Yeah.
there will be a slight modification.
Yes, and I got no problem providing that in the future with, based upon what we've agreed upon right now.
I make a motion, we approve the,
Wait, I got another question.
Yes.
On this Article 24, the dues deduction, is this gonna now start coming out of their IMRF?
Give me some, let's see that. No, so,
About retirement plan?
yeah, so on the back page, under deductions, you'll see, well, she has an updated copy. There's a union retirement plan that's beneficial to the members. It does not cost the village any money whatsoever. It's completely voluntary as to whether or not they want to pay into it out of their own paycheck. So if they decide to do so, then we would provide an authorization card to the village saying this is how much money they would like deducted from their paycheck to go into that account.
I make a motion, we approve the union contract.
I second.
Dees,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Animas,
Yes.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Passo.
Yes.
The pay raises, most of that's already been taken care of, but we'll get into the other work later on in the closed session. We need an ordinance authorizing expenditures, amended passage until we get our annual appropriation,
It's the same one we do every year.
as we do it every year.
Yeah.
Jared, explain it to the new one.
So the fiscal year is different than the actual appropriation year. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but it's what we have to do. So, as Beverly knows better than probably most of us, without the ordinance allowing this, technically the village couldn't quote unquote spend money. So it's really just an ordinance that says the village can use village funds until this appropriation gets awarded, which is usually June or July, depending on how fast Ms. Morano can get it accomplished, which varies just about every year.
As soon as the auditors are done.
Yeah, it's where we wait on the auditors. Once they give us the go-ahead, that's when Beverly and I get together and crunch the numbers, call the county and figure it out.
I make a motion, we have an ordinance authorizing expenditures of pending passage of the annual appropriation.
I second.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Dees,
Yes.
Passo,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Animas.
Yes.
Okay, visitors, person shall be permitted the opportunity to address officials under the rules established by the village of Kincaid, 3 minutes per person. Anybody want to speak?
Without foreman, who are we gonna direct the EL Pruitt's foreman to? Is he gonna go to you or is he gonna go to Tom?
What's that now?
When EL Pruitt, or the projects, their foremen, when they have questions, are we gonna direct them to you or to Tom?
Probably to both, because I'm going to have to meet with all of them, because somebody accidentally deleted the laptops of all the different information on it. So I'm gonna have to meet with the engineers, Neil Pruitt, and everybody else involved to get brought up to date on it. And I imagine that you're gonna have to still handle some of it under your water license deal. And I'm sure Tom will have to be involved on some of it too. It's gonna be a joint effort.
And then just let everyone know, Thursday our mosquito sprayer getting particle tested, so this week we'll start spraying for mosquitoes.
Anybody else?
I'd just like to thank the board and the mayor for accepting the contract, and I'll try to do my best to keep the guys in line. I mean, it's only as good as his workers, and they do pretty good.
Comment? Don't make mad.
Will the meetings be changed back to 7 o'clock like they were before, or is it gonna stay at 6 o'clock? Because I think you'll get a lot more people attending if you change it back to 7 o'clock like it used to be.
It's kind of tough. We have the committee meetings with it, to go to 7. That means with committee meetings, it'd be 20, 30 minutes at least. That's something that's going to have to be discussed, found out from the committees, and decided how they want to work it.
Cool.
So maybe my next meeting, we'll know something.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Are we, using the, villageofkincaid.com website?
As far as I know.
Is there a way to update it as far as, there are some things on Facebook that aren't on the villageofkincaid.com. And there are other things that are from 2024 on there, that are no longer, valid. And my only thing is that on villageofkincaid.com, you have businesses, local businesses, but you don't have anybody like that do lawn mowing or all that type of stuff. And there are a lot of people go on Life in the South Fork and say, does anybody mow? Does anybody else? Or then businesses post on there too. If we had, now not everybody has Facebook, some people are just too cool to have Facebook, okay? But if we had one place, like villageofkincaid.com, that lists these businesses, like Hometown Hounds is not pet grooming anymore, you know what I mean? So if it was able to be updated, and I think it would be a valuable resource for the community, that we know that there is a place, instead of going Life in the South Fork and scrolling down 6 months ago in somebody's,
Well, I agree.
waste removal or junk removal and,
And I don't know yet, and I'm sure Jamie knows, if we could put our whole orders book on there.
yeah.
I'm still waiting on some drive from Frank for
We're
that.
supposed to send us some thumb drive or something on it.
And I noticed on different sites on Facebook, because I'm not cool enough to not have Facebook, but, that there are people like high school students that can do like babysitting or all this other stuff during the summer. They're about out of school, and what a great resource for these young entrepreneurs to list. Yeah, they can do this, they can help with this, they can walk my dogs, they can do all this other stuff.
Well, I think we're gonna try to do a lot with it. First off, we gotta get that camera online and get it on Facebook.
Okay,
But like I said, don't expect miracles. It's gonna take time.
I'm not
I'm
expecting.
not real sharp with computers, but I'm gonna help them out as much as I can. I plan on being up here morning and afternoon both. Yes,
Yeah, we have a new trustee that's excellent at it. Excellent.
Maybe I can be.
Capital E.
And we'll work on the details.
Neighbor administrator.
If somebody needs a little help cutting their grass or whatever, needs a little help. It's good to have it out there. Yeah. I'm full of good ideas.
Thank you, Skip.
Anybody else?
Hey, I'm going much then now. I have been to
Move on.
Okay, approval
since
of
the
bills?
beginning of the year.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Dees,
Yeah.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Passo,
Yes.
Adamitis.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Mike, have you got any final zoning report?
No, I don't.
Approval of treasurer's report?
Make a motion, we approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Passo,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Ricardo,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Dees,
Yes.
Adamitis.
Yes.
Clerk's report?
I gave you all a copy of my report, and then after the meeting, I do need updated email addresses, so I can send you the, information for the training videos on IML.
Next, we don't have any police report. Women's report, from either one of you?
We have a lot of grass to mow. We have a lot of dirt to deliver. People want a lot of dirt, so it's up to the new board. You want to put the dirt on the last thing we do around, get everything else done, and deliver dirt later and rock.
And thank you, Mike and Sue, for letting us fix our backhoe.
Yeah.
So you guys are not.
I've never worked on that.
Well, whatever stuff needs to be done first and deliver the dirt and rock at the end of it. They load all the time.
Weather permitted, yeah.
Yeah, and weather permitted, so. We had to get 2 new tires on the front of the truck, thank you. One blew out, and it was down for a day or two. We'll try to keep going.
Then you got anything on the water?
I've been doing a lot of locates for the project out in Bullpit. They've been, doing taps. They've got one street done. They're hopefully gonna have half the other one done in a day or two.
Okay. There's nothing else to go to the attorney's report.
Not a whole lot on my agenda. Ordinance violations are not this week, but next week, so we'll have some updates at the June meeting. So that's really all I have. I just want to say thanks to the mayor for his services, as well as the trustees that are being replaced. Mike's been very instrumental in a lot of stuff that I have to do, so I appreciate that from both of those gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee reports. I'll let Jeff start off.
I do have something. Have you got the committees lined up yet for us? Are we gonna talk about that this evening by any chance? The one thing that I wanna bring up is that we probably didn't do as well as I felt like we should have, in the past, would be during our committee meetings, and that's when we're doing all our discussions. That's what we're gonna air everything out so that we decide that gets put on the agenda, so that when we come to the actual board meeting and it's time to be placed on the agenda, all this stuff has been talked about. We have had so many instances in the past to where we're spent time discussing all of this things to be voted on, and that's exactly what the committee meeting is for. So once we break, and also too, at least once a quarter, we need to break off and have the not, you know what I'm saying? I know that it has to be announced, and I know that we have to let the village know that we're having a breakout committee meeting, but I think that's important, at least once every quarter, to.
Your committee meetings don't really need to be announced because it's only for a few people. It's not gonna be a quorum.
I thought we had maybe 3 or something. Well, hang on, I'm fine with that. I thought that they had to post
The
something.
reason we have to do that, if you have 3 people on the committee,
Okay.
and you need to discuss something with me, that makes me a quorum.
Okay,
Can do it.
okay, okay. Perfect.
I mean, if somebody wants to switch around on that, you know, that's just doing it, talking to you guys. I know you want to be on a different committee, but before a bill come up, that can change. Good?
Good, very good, thank you.
But that's something that, as far as, it's like Claire's talking about, whether or not we're gonna have to go back to 7. Can't hardly do, it. We're gonna have a committee meetings. Going down like that.
Anybody, any other trustees have any?
Thanks, Bob.
No problem, but.
Thank you, brother.
Nothing, I'm glad that we're all gonna do the IML training. I think those are things that are real important to keep us informed, and they give a lot of good topics, and as we get it done, we can turn in our certificates, so we have something that says we've been trained in everything from, you know, sexual harassment to implicit bias to nuisance houses, or nuisance buildings.
Okay, business report, okay. Well, first off, CJ, we want to get the tablet, it's just back here on the bench somewhere. The tablet.
I don't have to look right now.
Well, we want to get it back up, so we don't lose the data like we did on computers.
We're gonna need somebody to get emails for emergency locates. Are they gonna
We're just
be?
gonna back it up, and just gonna go back out and then once a week.
Oh, you just wanna like save everything to it?
Yeah, we
I
want to back it up, and maybe whatever she thinks we need to back it up one time.
But you think we need to get another email address to the, like,
Yeah, we need somebody to have access to an email that Julie has access to, so they get emergency location when nobody's working.
Yeah, so you can get that in, and I'll get it to her, and she can get that taken care of. And then maybe once a month, back it up again, you know, keep it, make sure we keep everything. And, I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but we don't have a signed water contract with Jacksonville. Haven't had one for years. Nobody can find it. So I'm gonna have to get with Clark and get with you, and we're gonna set date for your meeting.
We found the one that I guess we're basically going on a month-to-month basis with, but
Right.
yeah, it has not been updated in quite some time.
But I'll talk to Clark on that and see when their meetings are. And, find out when you're available.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Okay, I want to appoint Beverly as treasurer. And Jared is going to stay on as attorney.
Yeah.
And zoning right now is going to be handled in the office at the present time until we figure out for sure what we're going to do, or how we're going to do it. We talked about the lawsuits that will be the next one.
Yep.
And I'll give you information on putting GPS systems in the pickups and the trucks, if you're interested in it. The one I give you, I got the only two people who were determined is Verizon. AT&T doesn't even do it, and this out that I just showed you. They're the cheapest by far, that's installed, guaranteed for the year. And it's actually an English company, but They're based out of the United States. Well, they sell worldwide. But we installers that come out of Springfield, actually out of Chatham. And I don't know how many vehicles you want to put them in. One of all 3 squad cars, and 2 pickups. I think it's $15 a vehicle, if I remember right.
Mr. Mayor, I think that's a great idea. I'd like to make a motion that we install Quantrix GPS quote we have.
A second?
Will that have to be on a separate meeting? 'Cause it's
Yeah, I
not
don't
on
know,
the
can we talk
agenda,
about
it's
that?
His report.
I think it's on the agenda, so I don't care.
I'm not even sure if we need to do that, but if we have to spend money, then we certainly have to.
Okay, I will put it on the next, for the next meeting. Plus, I have somebody else
Yeah, let's put it on June, just to
Yeah.
make sure. And if
Well, it's not
there are
on
other,
my report.
you're good.
And then also you see what I'd like to see happen to the permit cost. So we go over and decide which one to do.
You want to put that on the June meeting too then, the permit cost? Or?
Put it on the next agenda? Yeah, Jamie?
Okay, that's all I've got.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question. Sure. I'm a little concerned that the computers, the laptops, the information on them has been erased or evaporated or wherever it went. Do we intend on taking any action towards that?
We're looking into it. The
I mean,
mayor,
that's municipal information.
the mayor got a hold of me, and both Mr. Peavy and I both did some research on our own, and I've contacted not only other municipal attorneys, but the state's attorney to see what the best course of action is, or if we have any course of action. I know I requested from Jamie, who does not have the time to do it probably, to see if there's a specific ordinance that we have enacted, to see if there's a procedure or process that the village, probably not, but I was hopeful maybe there would be something that the village had previously done as it relates to what the process procedure is. Other than that, I would probably say by June we'll have an answer. I know the state's attorney, I talked to him on, I think it was Thursday, Mayor,
Yes.
and he was like, look, this is something we need to look into, but he wasn't sure about how we need to do it, whether or not he could, whether or not we should. So what I don't want to do is act first and then regret it. So I prefer to do it the right way.
What I've read under the Illinois municipal code is they have the authority, or they have the power to delete any information that is pertinent to them, but anything pertinent to the village should never have been erased.
Good. Arrest him. Arrest him.
Okay, well, that's all I got, except for we need to go into closed meeting.
Somebody need to make a motion?
Make a motion, we adjourn, go to closed session.
You just need to state why you're going into closed session.
Yeah, why we're going into it.
I'm sorry?
We gotta tell them why we're going to closed session.
Oh, yeah.
Meeting to consider appointment, employment, compensation, just one, municipal specific.
There's a motion.
You seconded it? Okay, Passo?
Dale second.
Yes.
Dees?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Ricardo?
Yes.
Adamitis?
Yes.
Yeager?
Thank you, everybody. Very nice, very nice crowd.